Okay, I know it's been a while. Had to rethink how I want to do this. So I'll start by going through some strange occurrences that I can't explain that's happened to me over my lifetime. Back when I lived in Litchfield with my mother, my grandparents, and my sister, my sister was at her dad's. It's a whole complicated story. I'm not going to go into that ever. Uh, I was in the living room. I had taken the couch cushions off the couch, stood them up over at a wall near a window, and was using it as a small little fort. My mother and grandparents were in this other room that was converted from a garage before I was born. They were in there. They were talking. I don't even know what about, because at the time it did not interest me. I just know I looked over towards the hallway and I saw this very strange thing. It was like a white apparition, like a person in a big dress or something. Just start walking across to the kitchen. I screamed. I ran into the room where they were, slid on an ad that came from a newspaper, and hit my head on the floor. Now, that was my very first interaction with whatever that was. Let's see. Then after that, we had just moved into this trailer. So we were there for a few nights. It was just eerie. Nothing really spooky there. Just, I'm a child in a new place, still needing to get used to this stuff. I look outside because we didn't have the TVs hooked up yet. Sorry. Got a lot of gas. That's why I'm burping and interrupting myself so much. Anyways, after that, we move into this first ever two-story house I've lived in. A two-story bluish gray house with a detached garage and like little shed or something behind it. Pardon me. There was a lot of weird stuff that happened there. The room that was my grandparents', which was on the main floor, for the longest time, I did not like being in there. Ugh, hate this. Anyways, when that eventually became my room because they moved elsewhere, I hated it. It had two closets. Okay. One was kind of like a little walk-in one that the door slid open, kind of like a little accordion door or something. And it always spooked me being in there, in that closet. I can never fully identify why. Just unnerved me. Then, later, well, actually, I should go back to before when we were helping grandparents move to this house that was down the road. It's schools. I had been like, okay, I'm on this paranormal kick. Let me look at pictures online. Just type in ghost, look up pictures. And I saw one that kind of spooked me. because it looked very similar to the house layout that we checked out for him. Because I can't really draw it or show it, but you go in through the front door. You got this big opening that leads to the living room with attached dining room, and you can see this sliding glass door as the back door. There were two back doors. One led more towards the garage, but after seeing that picture, before even seeing the house, I was like, okay, that just could be someone standing there. That's weird, whatever. I have never found that picture again. And it's weird, okay? Sometimes I think it's like a fever dream I had of that picture, but I don't know. Anyways, we go into this house. I'm still living with Mom in this bluish gray house up the road. And one night, while I'm in my grandparents' bedroom watching TV, a shadowish thing appears at their bedroom door that was shut, scratches at it, and terrifies the ever-loving heck out of me. I hide under their covers. When I feel like I can, I open the door, run to them, and ask, hey, did someone do this? They all say no. Yeah, that was weird. Then that house also had a basement, which flooded at one point, but I ain't getting into that. I'm sorry for all these pauses. Let me just get that out of the way. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to collect my thoughts here as I say all this. I ain't got this written down anywhere. I don't have like a script I should have planned beforehand. Just Anyways, the basement was another just eerie place. I did not like it. Hated when we had a pool table down there because I love to play pool. I was terrible at it, but I love to play it. It could be easily made into a hockey ring. Air hockey. That's it. Table hockey, whatever. And table tennis, but it never did that one because I am absolute garbage at it. Anyways, never liked being down there alone. Never wanted to be down there alone. We get out of there. We go to this house in the middle of just straight up nowhere. I stay out there a few nights. This is around the time I started listening to Creepypasta, and one of them was Slender Man. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't trust it. My brain, no. Yeah, here's the thing. If you are like me, you have ADHD and all this other junk, and you start hearing creepypastas not knowing that they're fake stories, your brain kind of goes to scaring you every shadow movement and all that. Anyways. No real scary stuff happens there, other than the AC breaking and almost setting the place on fire. But that's not a spookier thing that happened to me. That happened while my mother and grandfather were out there feeding the animals. Now, let's see. After that, we lived in an apartment. And this is something that will haunt me forever. I never had this happen before. It's never happened after. I had a case of sleep paralysis. This was a month or so in. I was laying there. I had a TV in my room. It had just shut off. I was like, okay, let me just. Why can I move? Why can't I? What is going on? I can't do nothing. Why? Oh, here's another thing. The thing I saw while I had my sleep paralysis episode is gosh dang Jeff the Killer. Did not help. Because, just like a few nights before, I listened to someone read it on YouTube. Again, not a good mental state for me to be listening to creepy things like that. Now that I've listened to videos of people being more critical and going over strange things in the story, it's like, oh, aren't I stupid for believing it was real? Anyways, my brain is kind of split on what happened. I either was able to finally speak, yelled out for Mom. She came in, turned the light on, and was just like, what's going on? Or I was able to move and ran to her. I don't remember which one it is. But either way, I hated it, and I have never had sleep paralysis after that ever again. And I never want to. It was terrifying. And it took me like a year to even be able to figure out what it was. But yeah. Then after that, we lived in another apartment. That place was creepy for a whole different reason. We moved out there to the house we're in now. And we've had some strange occurrences. I can't entirely understand everything that happened. But I will go over a couple that I do remember. This one isn't so strange, but it's just like what happened. I had 2 betta fish in a tank in my room. One day, while my mom was coming to help me clean the tank, one of them was just gone. Like, no sign of it at all. Not in the filtration system. Not hiding anywhere in the tank. I don't even think the other one ate it because I saw them both just the other day. I was in that room. I was sleeping, and when I woke up, I saw them. Then the next day, one of them was just gone. Get a drink here in a bit. But after that, I went from my bedroom to master bedroom. Not really had anything strange happen there. I went from master bedroom to downstairs on main floor for a while. Nothing strange there. When I came back up and took over master bedroom again, I was in the closet. Mainly because it was a small space that I do like small spaces where I can just sleep. It was very dark because there's no windows in that closet, which I find good. It was just perfect setup for me. So, when I was in that closet, apparently one of my mom's dogs had got out and up the stairs and made a mess. Apparently she came up and was shouting and yelling for me. I never heard her. And when she opened the bedroom door to get to the closet to shout for me again, she said she saw this shadow figure standing in that room. I didn't know any of this until after, when she finally got the dog put back up and the mess that it made cleaned up. So yeah, there was that. And that's about all I can remember. If I think of any more, there will be another video. If I can't think anymore and I talk to someone, maybe they will have got something. I don't know. But thanks for listening to me ramble and not really care about what I say, I guess. I'll end it with this. I do want to believe there is paranormal stuff, but it's kind of hard to tell when you got people on the internet just making stuff up. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you, and later.